Welcome back. Today, Broken Shield has a historic story to tell. Stay tuned. The 1920s are sold to us as a celebration. The Jazz Age. A party that never ended. But if you pull back the velvet curtain, you will find the machinery of government was being sold off. Piece by piece, from a smoke-filled room on K Street. Today on Broken Shield, we look at the ultimate failure of oversight. A president who died under a cloud of mystery, a cabinet of poker buddies who looted the treasury, and a bootlegger working out of the Capitol basement. This is the story of the Ohio Gang. To understand the betrayal, you have to meet the Ohio Gang. When Warren G. Harding took office in 1921, he brought his inner circle with him, and they didn't come to serve, they came to collect. Operating out of a now infamous little greenhouse on K Street, they turned public service into a private casino. Look at Charles Forbes. He headed the Veterans Bureau. But instead of building hospitals for wounded soldiers, he was siphoning off an estimated $200 million. That's billions in today's money. While World War I heroes struggled for care, Forbes was selling their medical supplies for kickbacks. This wasn't just corruption. It was a total abandonment of the shield they swore to uphold. The Ohio Gang saw their positions not as a public trust, but as a get-rich-quick scheme. And this was only the beginning. At the very same time, the government was preaching the virtues of the Volstead Act, officially banning alcohol across the nation. But behind closed doors, the halls of power were dripping wet. Meet George Cassiday, better known as the man in the green hat. For 10 years, he wasn't just a bootlegger. He was the primary supplier for Congress itself, operated right out of the House office building, making dozens of deliveries a day to the very men writing the laws. He'd walk right past the Capitol Police with a briefcase full of liquor, a familiar and welcome sight. This hypocrisy created a system of selective enforcement. Federal agents weren't just failing to stop the mobs, they were often partners, tipping off preferred syndicates to eliminate their competition. The shield wasn't protecting the law, it was protecting the profit. It was a perfect system for the corrupt, creating a two-tiered society where the rules only applied to those without power. By 1923, the walls were closing in. The schemes were starting to unravel, and several members of the gang had met tragic and suspicious ends as the scandals broke. Harding, finally realizing he was surrounded by vipers, fled Washington on a voyage of understanding to Alaska. It was a trip to reconnect with the American people, but it looked more like an escape. He never made it back to Washington. He passed away suddenly in a San Francisco hotel room. The official report said a stroke, but at Broken Shield, we look at the anomalies. First, the First Lady, Florence Harding, refused to allow an autopsy. Then, she immediately began destroying his private correspondence and official papers. Why the rush to erase the record? This sparked to enduring historical debates. Theory A. Did his inner circle ensure his silence to prevent him from testifying against them? Theory B. Was he silenced to protect the carefully crafted image of normalcy his administration was built on? Either way, the timing was perfect for the men on K Street. The fallout from the Ohio Gang's crime spree led to the first-ever cabinet official going to prison. It was a victory for accountability, but a deep scar on the nation. The Teapot Dome scandal, the Veterans Bureau fraud, all prove that the government can be hijacked from the inside when we stop asking questions. The Ohio Gang didn't just steal money, they stole the public's faith. And as we always say, here the shield is only as strong as the people holding it. The lesson from that smoke-filled room on K Street is that oversight is not a luxury, it's a necessity. Was Harding a victim of his friends? Or was he a victim of the system he created? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And if you believe in holding power accountable, hit that like and subscribe to stay part of the Accountability Project. We'll see you in the next investigation. Thank you from all of us here at Broken Shield. We really appreciate your dedicated support to our channel.